Welcome to Bullpen BBQ. I'm Justin Fabiano, the pitmaster here at Bullpen BBQ. Today, we're gonna make some smoked chili. So the recipe I use really just calls for our chili meat to be cooked in a frying pan to brown it up before it goes into the crock pot. But we are going to add some delicious smoked flavor. So I've got nearly a pound and a half of ground beef here, just made up into patties. We're gonna smoke it and then we'll break it up before we put it in the crock pot. And I've got a sirloin steak here. All right, I've got my smoker rolling between 250 and 275, so let's go ahead and put the meat on the grill. We're at 268 here, and yep, I've got some ribs going on the grill already. That's just a little treat. So we're gonna put our steak and our burgers here on the grill and just let them get some nice smoked flavor. We are working with hickory, and I will be throwing some pecan on there in just a little bit, but that's what we're gonna get is a mix of hickory and pecan, and just give that chili just an extra wood flavor. We're gonna come back in a little bit. We're also gonna char the peppers and the onions over the fire before we cook them in a pan. Our meat has been smoking on the grill for roughly an hour, hour and a half. It is up to about 125 internal, which is nice, medium rare. We're gonna take it off now, let it rest, cube it up before we throw it in the pot, and the pot is gonna take it rest of the way. This steak looks wonderful. And this hamburger meat, remember, we are gonna just crush this back up just like ground beef. Just wanted to make it into patties to get it on the smoker. And just for good measure, let's go ahead. We're gonna take this steak, we're gonna give it a little kiss of fire. Now that our meat's off and resting, we're gonna go ahead and char up these peppers and onions. All right, these things get cut up before we put them in the chili, but by roasting them here on a hot grill for just a couple minutes on each side, it's gonna bring out just the sweetness of those peppers and those onions and just give everything else just a nice, good, fire roasted flavor. Okay, we'll go ahead and take these peppers and onions off here. We're just gonna put them on our cutting board. Just, whoo, that one spit out at me. All right, we've got them nice and fire roasted. Got some juices I inhaled there. So that heat is still definitely there. Like I said, we're just gonna bring out the sweetness in these. So the next thing we need to do here is cut up the peppers, cut up the onions, cube up the meat, and assemble the chili. So when we come back, what you're gonna see is us assembling all that chili goodness, and they're gonna get to know each other in the pot. Bullpen fans, it's time to really start putting this chili together. We'll start here by throwing a little bit of oil in this Ninja crock pot, which is like a skillet, and we're gonna throw the garlic in there and just kind of let that get cooking just a touch. And then we're gonna throw the onions in there that we've kind of par cooked here with a little bit of smoke. And we're gonna get those rolling before we get the peppers and the meat and all the other seasonings and all that good stuff put in there. Okay, it's time now for the meat to go in here. Oops, I'm getting some drippings down here. It's nice and juicy, so I'm just gonna put that meat. And again, this really is step one, is to brown all this meat with the onions and the garlic, but we've browned it by smoking it. So we're just gonna toss it in there. We're gonna turn this stovetop setting to low here and let it simmer. Give it a nice little stir to mix it all up. All right, as Kevin in the office says, the onions are gonna get to know everyone in the pot. So, this chili is super cool because it's got a lot of interesting wet ingredients, which is what we're gonna add next. So, first thing I'm gonna put in here is 1 cup of strong coffee. It calls for beef stock. We've got some smoked chicken stock, so we're gonna put this smoked chicken stock in here. Diced tomatoes. These are chili ready tomatoes from Harris Teeter with the juice. So those just get dumped right in. And then 2 small cans of tomato paste, which I might have to fight out here with the spatula. Lastly, our wet ingredient here, my favorite, is a can of dark beer. We are from Charleston, South Carolina, so we use Holy City Pluff Mud Porter, and we pour that can of beer right in the pot. So we have coffee, we've got beer. Now it's time to go ahead and put the spices in there. I've got some brown sugar, quarter cup of brown sugar, and then a spice mixture here. There's some chili powder, some garlic powder, some cocoa powder. So we've got those chocolate notes. We put that right in there. And then lastly here, we are gonna go ahead and get these peppers in there. So this is jalapeno and Fresno red hot chili peppers. So our chili has now been simmering for roughly 90 minutes or so. I've waited to choose to add the beans at the end so that they don't get all mushy and things like that. If you don't like beans, you don't have to add them. You can skip this step. We're not here to get political about beans, but we put ours in here. I've got 2 cans of dark red kidney beans and 2 cans of black beans. They're already drained, so we're just gonna go ahead and dump them in. And that's pretty much all you gotta do is just dump all 4 cans in here. And most of this, I don't know that you have to be super vigilant with draining them, like, you know, all the liquid out, but you know, you get what you can out. So 4 cans of beans in there. Like I said, I choose to add them at the end. We're gonna let this go for about 45 minutes or so. All right, we are done cooking here in the bullpen, and I cannot wait to try this chili. We smoked the beef, we roasted the peppers and the onions, and now it's time to enjoy the rewards of our meat. So I scooped the chili in here, take some green onions, a little battle wound here. Don't worry, it's washed, it's cleaned. Gonna put some sour cream on there, and then just a touch of shredded cheese. Yum. All right, probably a little bit much sour cream, but I like dairy and it's chili, so who cares? Look at that, looks so delicious. Gonna have some sweetness, gonna have some smokiness, gonna have a good texture from the bean because we waited till the end. It's time to try it. That cheese melted super quick, but this is awesome. All right, it's just a touch sweet, just a touch spicy, just a touch smoky. It's got the creaminess from the sour cream and the cheese, and it's wonderful. Smoked chili is a good one. I'm Justin Fabiano. I'd like to give a special thanks to Ashlyn Stephenson. She's my beautiful camerawoman, and this is Bullpen BBQ.